So you helped A&R DMX's Exodus album too, right?
Correct.
What was your relationship like with DMX?
Fantastic. I wish the family wouldn't have deleted it, but the last ever social media post DMX made was for me and him.
Wow. What did he say?
We took all the leftover tour merch from the 20th anniversary of the Dark and Hell and Hot. Either the 20th or 25th anniversary. I don't remember. And we set up a website to sell it. And the week before, me, his manager, Pat, and X were on the line going over like you're going to account to us every time you make X. So like every time you make $2,500, you keep 5 and you forward 2. And so X made the post. And I'm used to, in the 6 years I worked with X, I'd call his phone or text, and he'll call or write back like 2 or 3 days later. But Pat would never take his manager would never take more than like half a day at best. So at first, after we launched the site and I have the first $2,000 for them, Pat's not answering and X is not answering, but I'm not thinking anything's wrong with X. I'm thinking something very wrong with Pat because he's never in 6 years taken more than 12 hours to hit me back. DMX and Wu-Tang Clan had the same publicist at that time. And I reached out to him and he told me that he talked to Pat. And the issue was not Pat. Like, tell him, 80, I'm okay, but something seriously wrong with X. That was the beginning of the end.
Wow. Do you have a favorite DMX memory that you can share with us?
I got tons of them, but my favorite is so funny, dude. I think I put this in the book as well, in the DMX chapter. We were working in the studio in Indianapolis, and we're working on like 2 or 3 different songs, and we'd shoot a video like later, and we did a concert and stuff like that. But DMX is writing, and he's sitting at like a little like foldable table with a chair, and this ant starts walking across his notepad, and X is like, "Where does that come from?" Like, well, it's like there's no insects in the fucking studio, and he looks at the ant, and he's like, "I'm gonna take you home. You're gonna be a New York ant. You my dog, ant." And it's just so funny, like him saying, "Yo, ant, you my dog." And he takes a cellophane off his cigarette, and he's getting ready to pick the ant up and put it into the cellophane. Like he's legit. He's gonna be in India for like 3 days, but he's gonna preserve this ant and then take it across America to New York, where the ant's gonna live. And before he can put it in the cellophane, his manager like slaps his hand and takes a lighter and kills the ant. And DMX is sitting at the table and he's like, "No! Oh my God, why? Oh, ant dog!" And by the way, no one would believe the story except for the fact that we have it on video. We have the video of this now. Yeah, I think I posted it like 2 years ago or something, but I can find it. That's one of my favorite stories.
You had did the song, what, Bath Salts?
Bath Salts. And that's another thing that's by chance. And that would have never happened had I not done the Ghostface album with Cleopatra Records, X-Ray Records, to find out that that's who you had to license that DMX verse through because of these Rhodes Art people. Not Rhodes Art, it's some fucking mafia company that did that Redemption of the Dog album. But that's an example that actually helped my company and my licensing business because the Jay-Z verse is new, the Nas verse is new. And instead of having DMX record a brand new verse, they used a licensed DMX verse on a song that was nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, that was crazy to have all 3 of them on a record together, man.
Yeah.
Was DMX alive at the time?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why that shit's so crazy. You could have had DMX do a brand new verse, but you felt like Swift Beats loved that verse so much, even though it was you decided to use that. DMX was alive. He could have done a new verse.
Mm. Where were you when you found out that he had passed away?
Well, the answer is LA. The answer would be in LA the whole time. But there was 3 or 4 times he was quote unquote dead and then brought back to life. The family, like he really died and they bring him back to life a couple times. And I got people yelled at me because they thought I was the first one to announce that he died before the family. And I'm like, no, here's members of the family that announced it. Here's members of the Rough Riders that announced it. So then the heat was taken off me. Um, but they purposely put him back on the ventilators so his death date could be like numerically significant.
Got you. And what was your reaction when you found out?
I cried for weeks, but the only solace was knowing I had to work through it for the family. Like apparently all the family's bank accounts were froze and stuff, and like I had to funnel money from like LA to New York and like just make sure they were good. I think I spent close to like $100,000.
And matey, why do people give you so much shit, man? It seems like behind the scenes you do a lot of solid stuff, bro.
It's the same answer. I mean, I'm like, especially as a white guy, I'm living essentially like every white hip hop lover's dream. Everyone that ever wanted to be part of the music world, the rap world. I was successful as an artist, as many people want to make fun of my rap career. Like, I can still out rap the majority of rappers. I had full of my own album chart. I toured. I did, whatever. So I think that's really it. Like, without trying to be conceited and cocky about it, it's just because I'm living the dream. And the more people get to know me, they realize like I'm not just some wigger. Like I've got that label too. That label came as all things the culture vulture. I'm literally just a fucking dude. You know,
Right.
like I'm able to separate my like how I gotta act and be in my job versus how I need to be in my home. And I'm responsible and I'm well educated. And it's like, I'm not a pushover. And that goes to show with time. I mean, the majority of my book is people that thought they were going to take advantage of me early on in my career that then had to accept the fact that now I'm a player and had to come back and kick my ass.
Who else did you fight that's a rapper?
No one.
Nobody else?
Uh-uh.
Okay, I thought that you had like way more stories that you was beating up this rapper or that rapper.
No. I mean, I've been in a lot of fist fights.
Uh-huh.
Probably 20, 30 in my day, which is like acceptable. It's not like I'm out here like looking to fucking, so like fuck dudes up. It's not like I'm some gang shit. But no, as far as rappers, I've only thrown hands with a couple.